So there's this thing called the genetic fallacy, and it's all the rage right now. It's essentially a mode of thought that fails to separate an idea from a personality or association. And it's a real issue, because if your goal is to ascertain truth, and yet you find yourself discriminating against ideas on the basis of who you heard them from, then there's no guarantee that the truth is what you'll end up with. People in the world figured this out a long time ago, yet Christians seem to still struggle with even recognizing they're doing it, let alone the dangers associated. In Proverbs 24, it says it's not good to show respect to persons and judgment. Another translation says it's not good to recognize faces. If you hang out in circles where people act like they're still in high school, I saw Michael talking to Paula, and they were both hanging out with Todd. This can seriously hinder your ability to think clearly and objectively. Now some say, but we were supposed to warn the body of Christ against heretics and false teachers. Not only has no one been able to come up with a clear, verifiable, and authoritative criteria for the use of these terms, see our video on spreading Christian fake news, let's think through this for a moment. Should anybody trust you? Like, seriously, do you think it's a good idea for Christians to just blindly believe whatever you tell them? That's how people get deceived in the first place, right? The Bible issues a command to every believer that they should test all things. All is a pretty broad term. It would mean that you need to test the teachers you like, as well as the ones you don't. Test the doctrines you like, and the doctrines you don't. You should even test the guys who are telling you to test, right? So even if you were correct in an accusation that someone is a heretic, the practice of others simply embracing that accusation is a dangerous one. This being the case, what exactly does such name-calling accomplish? But I always give quotes and references of these people so no one has to take my word for it. They can go and look it up themselves. Well, there's this other fallacy known as poisoning the well, and it's when you plant a suggestion in the mind of your audience beforehand, which then ends up influencing whatever information they evaluate later, thus increasing the chances that they take your side. Imagine you were talking to two separate people, and to one of them you said, "Here's a few quotes from a minister, but listen to some of their sermons to get a better idea of the context, and let me know what you think." And to the other person you said, "Here's some damnable heresies by this charlatan and false prophet, but hey, go and do your own research and let me know what you come up with." They're probably going to arrive at much different conclusions, aren't they? But turns out none of this really matters anyway, because even if it's proven beyond any shadow of a doubt to everyone that the accusation of a false prophet is undeniably true, this still does not give us the right to reject what they say in any given instance. Why? Because this is the genetic fallacy. They could still tell the truth. And as a believer whose highest loyalty is to the truth, you cannot reject it based on who is speaking. And you'd be surprised where the truth can come from. It came from a guy who worshipped pagan gods. It came from Balaam's ass. It even came from the devil himself. In none of these cases was the truth made any less precious, valuable, or worthy of being pursued and embraced simply because of who it was spoken through. So, whether it's your favorite Bible teacher or the greatest heretic who ever lived, the standard remains the same. Take the truth and leave the rest.